Hello, YouTube. We were not the first to discover dinosaurs and extinct animals from prehistoric times. Apparently, even ancient Rome studied these frightening finds, and they didn't find the answer. But you see, 2,000 years earlier, fossilized bones had become a mystery to the ancient civilization of Egypt. Polish author Bolesław Prus mentioned this in his great novel about ancient Egypt. First published in 1896, Pharaoh, that's the title of the book, is considered one of the great novels of Polish literature. And you should read it if you want to learn about enigmas and mysteries of that ancient civilization in Africa. You will find it fascinating, and I did include some information in my previous videos about ancient Egypt. Now I want to share some more information that has been published in Russia not that long ago. The research of archaeologists allows us to imagine how this story happened. 4,000 years ago, the chaos following the demise of the ancient kingdom in Egypt ended. Disintegration was replaced by unity, and the dynasty of pharaohs from Thebes came to power. The mighty Mentuhotep defeated the separatists and conquered the Nile Valley, restoring ancient Egypt. Thus began the era of the Middle Kingdom, and it was then that the pharaohs discovered the first bones. That made them wonder. We assume or infer it happened as things sometimes happen in the East, where the sand reveals everything secret. A violent storm near the town of Djebu, the tomb city of the Theban pharaohs, scattered the sands and exposed a frightening find. Black and heavy, like pieces of iron, giant bones lay in front of the Egyptians. Apparently, 4,000 years ago, the bones of extinct animals were in better condition than they are now. Bizarre skeletons and skulls of terrible monsters, as if they had descended to earth from the realm of the dead. O Seth, great god of terror, serpent of chaos, deserts, and violence, they saw you and should not have seen you. We can only imagine what was going in the minds of the Egyptians of the time who found the fossilized bones and how they called to the gods they believed in. Their civilization, their cultural world, consisted only of gods and worthless people who lived only for the paradise of the kingdom of the dead. By order of the pharaohs, the Egyptians dug up prehistoric bones for hundreds of years. They were carefully transported to Djebu, and archaeologists have not yet found the site of the first human paleontological excavations in history. Bolesław Prus may have a little bit more information in his book. The priests announced to everyone that these were the bones of the chaos god Seth, who ruled the earth at the beginning of time, and it was easy to believe the bones of giant dinosaurs and animals were fossilized, huge and incredibly heavy. That is why in the Chronicles of Egypt they were called the iron bones of Seth. The Egyptians did not display the bones of a god. No, they carried them to the first tombs of the great pharaohs who gave Egypt peace. They placed the bones in linen scrolls and carefully placed them near the sarcophagi of the divine kings. In ancient Egypt, it was decided that they had found the bones of the earthly form of the god Seth, the god of chaos. It was a place for the revered great dead and the best place for the bones of monsters who terrorized the land that became ancient Egypt. And they terrorized millions of years ago, of course. Over the decades of excavation, scientists in modern times found piles of bones collected by the Egyptians, more than 3 tons. 3 tons of Seth's iron bones. How huge this darkest of gods seemed to the ancient Egyptians. We did not know about this story for a long time, although Roman and Greek chronicles wrote that the Egyptians worshipped non-nummulites, the fossilized mollusks of a prehistoric sea that splashed at the site of Africa 56 million years ago. Shells were found in limestone layers, houses, and temples that were built from it in Egypt. The underground structure of the tombs of the pharaohs of the Middle Kingdom in Jebu, apparently, you can see the drawing that I have. Again, this comes from the Russian publications and sources. And even in 1926, when archaeologists found the tombs of the Theban dynasty in Jebu, no one unwrapped the countless linen bags filled with iron bones. The air could have killed them, and they had been lying in crates in museums for 80 years. And in 2008, when the X-ray scanners appeared, scientists saw what was inside: dinosaur bones mixed with the bones of giant hippos, cave rhinos, saber-toothed tigers, wolves, and the first humans. Some of the bones were of creatures that died millions of years ago, and then the pharaohs died out, and we don't know exactly what those iron bones of Seth meant to them, but with each new step, we find more clues and try to understand what this mysterious world looked like. 4,000 years ago, they tried to understand it in ancient Egypt, I think in the same way. And in ancient Egypt, there was no concept of dinosaurs, of creatures that lived in the past. How little do we know? You look at my other videos that I've collected about ancient Egypt using sources that you will not find in most Western research, and some of them are obfuscated, some were just neglected, but I find them. And I want to find more confirmation, of course, about such dinosaur bones in ancient Egypt. And if I do, or when I do, I'll let you know. If you like my research, please support in the links you find in the description to this video. Please like my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Please make sure you're notified of new videos. Thank you.